Hi, one and all present here. This is Surya. We are going to see about the parent-child relationship in ReactJS. So already we saw that what is ReactJS and what are the state props and everything. And here we are going to see about the parent-child relationship, how the React has been going under with the crucial, and how they built together in a components, and how the communication is going on under the relationship. And first thing we want to understand the component, how the component is goes under the React. First thing we want to go for the reusable piece of UI, and we can go with the functional or class based parent component. It holds all the things and renders other components. And child components, it's rendered inside a parent and it follows unidirectional data flows. The flow from the parent to the child using the props. The props is properties, right? And visual tips. First thing we want to go along with the parent child and the props flow. Passing the data from the parent to the child. The simplest way is to from the parent to communicate each and everything to the child through the passing the data with the props. And here we are seeing some of the communication, state, renders and everything with a nested structure. It goes under the interaction, seamless and efficiency, and passing the functions from the parent to child. Sometimes the child needs to send the data back to the parent. At the time, it done by passing the functions as a props. For example, the properties, it goes under with the parent-child interactions. Understanding the React components. Here we want to go under with the understanding components. First thing, we want to contain the self-consistent piece of UI. It should be reused. And second one, the component hierarchy. And exist in the hierarchy that which one component contains another and another component contain another, and it's so on with the data flow. And next thing, understanding the props. First, two-way communication pattern. The React does not allow any direct to the child to the parent binding. The two-way communication is passing the callbacks from the parent to the child. And second one is the parent update each and every state based on the data received from the child, which has been passed back as a properties. For example, constant, name, set name, and child component, it goes under the update name, and the parent sees each and everything and it updates the two-way communication props. And here the props immutable data passed from the parent to the child React. First thing, the props types and validation. The validation goes under the correct usage and default props. Each and everything provide the fallback values, ensuring the predictable way. And conditional rendering. The parent components can also control what the children rendering using the conditional statement. For example, function parent, it's have a constant show set so, and the button it's having go under the on click set show, and the child will be process each and every button and finalize the hide of the child. And the next one is mapping the child with the data. Each and everything have a dynamic render multiplication child component which use the map and props. For example, the child key that goes under the index and the name that goes under the item. The constant item is apple, banana, cherry here. We can divide together and we can map together to form an index. And this shows the repetitions of UI basics. And the callbacks for the interaction. Each and every callback function passed under the child enables communication and the parent. And the best practice of this is always use the props to parent to child communication. Second one, we can use a callback function. Third one, modular and reusable component should be there. Fourth one, props types and TypeScript should be used to validate the props. And the last one is content API complex apps will be under the deep prop dialing. And we can go under the API complex now. The API complex, it goes with the sharing across the complex components. For example, trees without props drilling. And second one, creating and using content. It goes to react.create content that allows each and every content, and the child components will goes to the use content hook. And the final one is performance consideration. And here we are go with the re-renders of performance. It updates, it causes a problem, and again it re-renders and minimize the content for the customer to optimize each and every performance. Here we are going to see about the real world example. First one is form validation. For example, child input update by the parent state. Second one, dashboard, child widgets send data to the parent. And last one is shopping cart, child item, that is a component, updates each and every cart in the parent. So finally, we are going to see the conclusion with the best practice and the empathize one-way data flow here. And that one-way data flow, it comes under the robust React application. And here, effective and state props management. The finalize of content API with the global state management, we can simplify each and every complex interaction. Continual learning and adaptation, we can engage the code we reviews, and we can go along with the open source project, and we can enhance our understanding. So finally, we can see the parent components that pass data and function to the child to props, and the child communicate the back to the parent through the callback functions, and rendering and mapping goes along with the dynamic proper way in UI updates. And finally, we are going to see about the aim. The aim is nothing but the modulate, reusable, and predictable component. In each and every parent-child relationship, we have the building components React application, which goes under the interactive and maintainable format. And thank you all.